Welcome to your daily focus, March the 2nd, 2022. My name is Tilly. This is Tarot with Tilly, and thank you. Thank you truly for all of the positive, loving, supportive energy you send my way each and every day. Send it right back to you. Absolutely. We have a lot to talk about. We have the new moon, very potent, high intensity energy new moon upon us. And we'll get to that. Let's start with the numerology. We have the 2 energy. The 2 energy is about diplomacy. The 2 energy is about self-knowledge and learning about ourselves. Why we do what we do, why we say what we say. And where we need to curb it, where we need to push it forward more. Cooperation, definitely. If we do the numerology of the day, of course, it's an 11. So that's the illuminator. That's the teacher. Now, an 11 energy usually gives us greater challenges for greater victories. The 11 energy asks us for self-sacrifice, for making a commitment to a goal, to a dream, to a desire, to keeping your focus on it, giving it the attention it deserves and you deserve. And it asks more of us, but the results are so much greater. And sometimes things can happen very quickly when you step into that 11 energy. Oh, the death card tried to turn over there, but he flung back into the deck. So it's a time of looking at where we want to transform ourselves. So the commitment is to ourselves. Now we have the sun in Pisces and the moon in Pisces at 12 degrees. Having our new moon. Now, the energy in the sky is just incredible. We have in Pisces the sun, the moon, but also I think Jupiter sits at like 14 degrees. So they're all conjunct. Then we have Saturn and Mercury together in Aquarius. Now, I forget what degrees, but it's like they're right there with each other. And then in Capricorn, we have Pluto, Mars, and Venus all conjunct. So they're all working in harmony for the better good, for our better good. This is a time that we could really step forward. So think about your design of your path going forward. What do you want it to look like? And like I said in the March overview, I think it's just in preparation for, we see it, we dream it, because it's a Pisces energy, a Pisces new moon. So we dream it, we see it in our mind, we can envision it. Gosh, we can almost reach out and touch it. But I think there's a lot of work to do in order to really, and then when we have our Happy New Year, our new moon in Aries, that's when the explosion, that's when we trailblaze, that's when we really go for it. So the next 30 days is about seeing what you truly want in your life, your path forward, your reality, what you want to surround you, what you want to be doing, who you want to be, who you want to become. And see those dreams, the potential. And make some commitments to yourself. There is so much energy to actually take some action. Although with the 12, we have the 12 there. We can't forget the 12 energy, and I haven't even talked about that. The 12 energy is about just stepping it back, thinking it through, understanding the situation, where you are now, your reality, and where you want to step, and how that's going to look. So critical thinking. It's also about being in the now. Whatever happened yesterday happened yesterday. It's in the past, it's gone. The only way it stays alive is in your mind. So it's a call to look forward rather than backwards. I think if we look backwards under this energy, we will go right down a rabbit hole of self-defeat. So catch yourself. Catch yourself if you're beating yourself up for something, pointing out your failures rather than your successes, showing you where you lack talent rather than where your talent could just explode you into a whole nother world, whole nother universe, whole nother reality. And for each of us, it'll be different depending on who we are, what we're going through. For some of us, it'll be in relationships. Others, it's well-being, health. Some of us, it's family. Some of us, it's our spirituality. Some of us, it's getting a job, a career, a new business off the ground. Some of us is travel. Some of us is learning. And a mixture of those things. So look at your life and understand what this energy has the potential to push you into if you allow it to. So the 12 energy, but now remember, 1 plus 2 is a 3, and that's the Empress. That is diplomacy. Once again, we have the diplomacy word out there. But also intuitive. So when we can get our logic and our heart to work together as one unit, we're making decisive decisions. Decisions we'll never have to go back on. But the key is, with the 12 energy, is to actually do the process of making that decision. Don't just jump into things. Realize what it can do for you. What is the potential? What is the drawback? The 12 energy says to just stop, to breathe, to be in the moment, to meditate, to understand where you need control in life and where you want to gain control in life, and where you need to let go of control in life. Maybe surrendering to something. Okay, I can't wait to get to the cards, so we're just going to jump in here. What's the bottom card? Look at this. The 6 of Cups. Who said you couldn't? Because it was just their opinion. Who said you couldn't? And maybe you're telling yourself you shouldn't. You couldn't. So why are you telling yourself that? Understand it. Understand that it was probably somebody else's words once upon a time. You took it as gospel. You took it as truth. You carved it into stone, but it was only an opinion. Of course you can. You can have anything that you want. If you can dream it. The 5 of Swords. Now the 5 of Swords, we really have to stand in our truth. We could get a little defensive. So, or people attack us in ways that we weren't prepared for. So I'd be very careful who I'm sharing content with, who I'm talking to, what I'm saying about my dreams, my hopes, my goals, my desires. Know that you can trust them. Sometimes we have to stand on our own and walk an independent path. Other times we will walk hand in hand down the beach with somebody else. Or maybe a group of people. People agreeing with us. But it's about standing your ground and owning your truth. And yet, being careful who you're actually sharing it with. The Hierophant. This is really where we get intuition and logic working together as one. So it's definitely here for our asking. Just say it every morning. Just say, I want to cement my sage wisdom with my intuition, my emotion, and cement them as one today. This is also about having a faith. That if you take that step, the path will appear. That your angels, your guides, God, the Creator, the divine energy surrounds you, wanting you to succeed. So it's having faith, faith in yourself, but faith in God, your angels, your spirit guides. Oh, the devil. The devil is the total transformation of who you are to who you're becoming. It's allowing those pieces to fall away. Like I said, the past is the past. Yesterday is gone. It's today that matters, and tomorrow and the next. But let's concentrate on today. And this is breaking out, being reborn in some part of your life. Absolutely. Letting go of maybe old beliefs, old habits, people, environments, to make space for the new. The phoenix rising out of the ashes. The Nine of Wands. Of course, the Nine of Wands shows up. For anybody who watches me, you know what I'm going to be doing here now. So those wands in the background, okay, are the paths that you have walked to this point. And look at them. They're straight. They're tall. Every one of them has growth on them. Now look at the one in your hand. You've walked all these paths, and now this is your new path. And don't worry, all those other ones kind of look like that one too, all crooked and bent out of shape and twisted and gnarled, and no sign of life or growth to it whatsoever. And you're sizing it up. You're wearing the white for new beginnings, new starts. You're wearing the red for passion, courage. You've walked all these paths, and they've come to a point now where you're going to be going into a whole new direction. So this could be not just a new chapter in your life, but a whole new book series, for goodness sakes. So a young girl, story goes, a young girl made threads, yarns, different colors, different strengths, different textures, different strengths, different colors. Some were thin, some were, you could throw an anchor into the ocean and it'd be fine. And one day her father came in and said, "Daughter, it's time for us to pack all of our threads and ropes and take them to market and sell them. And while we're gone, let's find you a husband." And she was, "Okay, father," and started packing up, and away they went. They boarded the ship, and a huge storm broke out, and she found herself to be a lone survivor on this beach. She was washed up on shore, and these guys came and grabbed her, and, "You're coming with us." And away they went, and they took her to market and sold her. And a gentleman bid it on her. He thought he could give her a good home. So he took her and he showed her how to make different linens and tarps and different materials and canvases, and out of a weaving pattern and different weaving patterns. And so she started making material, cloths and tarps. And one day he says, "It's time to pack up. We need to go and sell all of our cloths, all of our tarps, all of our heavy blankets." And she said, "Okay." And away they went. And there was there was not a huge storm. Pirates actually overtook the ship, took her hostage, and they put her to work making the big mast that held the sails. And sure enough, this is where, yes, the storm comes in and she finds herself washed up on shore again, the only one. And these two guards come up and they say, "You need to come with us." And she says, "Of course I do." But before that happens, oh my gosh, I'm messing up the story on you guys. She looks up in the sky and she says, "Why? Why do you do this to me? Every time I think I've got my footing, I've got some balance in my life, I've created some friends, I've accepted my life for how it was, you go and you pull the carpet right from under me again, and I have to start all over again. Why? Why do you constantly do that?" And then, of course, the guards came up, took her to see the emperor. The emperor said, folklore says, legend says, that a lone woman would wash up on shore and be able to make these beautiful, marvelous tents for all the world to admire, and it would make the emperor and his land very rich, very well known. Are you that woman? And she thought about it for a second and thought, yeah, I could probably build a tent. Yeah, I could do that. Wonderful. Let's get started. So he asked her what she needed, and she says, well, first we'll make all the walls and everything and out of this material. And he goes, we have nothing like that here. She goes, don't worry. I know how to make it. We'll get to work. Next, she said, we need the long mast that will hold up the walls and the ceilings. And we have nothing like that here, the emperor says. She goes, don't worry. I know how to make them. I'll set up a team. We'll get to work. He goes, what do you need now? She goes, well, we need long ropes now to tie it all together and bring it up. He goes, we have nothing like that. Don't worry. I know how to do it. And away she went. And when she was done, I mean, people from all over the world talked about these marvelous tents. They were just wonderful with all of her different life experiences woven into each part of it. The emperor was very pleased, had her brought back in front of him and said, you've made me rich. You've made my kingdom rich. You've done all this for us. What can we do for you? What can I do for you? And she thought about it for a minute. And she says, well, a long time ago, I left with my father for a husband. So perhaps a husband. And the emperor said, marry me. And she did. And they lived happily ever after. And the moral of the story is, when we started out way back when, in no way could we have built that tent and impressed an emperor and lived happily ever after. We had to go through different journeys, different challenges, different learning experiences in order to get to the here and now. And now we're at the here and now. And we're sizing up our path forward. We want that new beginning. And so we are looking at our courage. We are invoking our passion. Last card is the Sun. I kid you not. This is probably one of the best energy new moons will have for the entire year. It's about you. It's about you seeing the path forward. You understanding where you want to go. And starting to dream it, starting to envision it, starting to make a plan, starting to weigh out pros and cons. And don't worry, we'll get to a point where we'll have to see what we need to get rid of. But right now, it's forward thinking. The I am. That light doesn't come from the sun, it comes from you. You gain the knowledge, the perspective, the clarity, the understanding of your potential, perhaps. And it lights the way where you saw no path. Now a path appears. And it's based on those mature sunflowers there. Says over your past accomplishments, learning experiences. You've matured to the point to go to this point, to this destination. Okay, let's get a mantra card. So we do need critical thinking. Remember, the 12 energy is there. We're going to get moments of clarity, aha moments, epiphanies. We're going to start doing something and all of a sudden something clicks. We understand what we need to do next, what we need to rearrange, what we need to work into our lives or out of our lives. The 2 energy is really about decisive decisions. But it's having the information and actually making the decision that matters the most. So we have vacation, take time for relaxation and adventure. So we need to enjoy life here. But I think with Jupiter being part of the new moon, being conjunct with it, for goodness sakes. That just brings in this, if you want happiness in your life, there is definitely the potential for the expansion of happiness. But if you start looking at the sadness that you've walked through in your life, that's also what you'll get the expansion of. So you have to be very careful, very proactive in your thought patterns over the next month. Seriously, over the next month. I mean, this is, if you've never had a gratitude journal or had a gratitude list even, this is a time to start. This is day one. This is ground zero. I don't know where that came from, but hopefully it really does apply. I don't know. So vacation, it's about letting your hair down, relaxing, enjoying your steps. And, yes, we want to get to that goal, but we also want to enjoy the journey. We don't want to just get from A to B. We want to experience the path. So maybe just taking a back seat to a few things right now will give us that clarity, will give us that time to ponder, to think about where we are at, the 12 energy, to just breathe and understand our reality at the moment and where we want to go forward and what changes need to happen, what actions we need to take, what words we need to say. So, you deserve a rest, a long sleep, a massage, sunbathing, playing in the snow. Rejuvenate and nurture your mind, body, and spirit with plenty of rest and simple pleasures. Explore the universe as it is filled with wonder, joy, and magical things. You might be planning vacations. Oh, I said that in the March video, didn't I? A short getaway, a romantic trip. It is important to remember the everlasting memories and bonds that you are creating with each adventure. I enjoy a vacation to rest and rejuvenate my mind, body, and spirit. I deserve it. Okay, we'll get an animal card. And then, of course, we'll go to a Journey of Love card. Because it is a new moon energy. Interesting. Oh, look at this. Sing your song. Sing your song. So the bluebird. I see bluebirds. They remind me of my dad. I remember one Mother's Day. The kids were young. We were on our way out. And I opened up the door, missing my dad, and opened up the door, and there was a bluebird, which is very rare on my property. Other properties, they have them. I want to know their secret. I've tried some of the things they've said, and nothing seems to attract them. So if you've got some words of wisdom, absolutely, I'm open to it. Sing, create, express, respect. A bird does not sing because it has an answer. It sings because it has a song. So it's time to listen to the song in your heart. Bluebird tells you you've been hiding, and now it's time to sing whatever song you feel. It doesn't necessarily have to be happy. If you're feeling sad, honor your emotions and express them. However, Bluebird would prefer you sing your song turn to one of happiness and higher emotion. Bluebirds are gentle, non-aggressive creatures, tend to avoid confrontation, patient with others, kind with others. If a bluebird feels threatened or upset, it stands its ground and defends itself and its own kind. Bluebird has shown up in your reading because it feels like you've allowed others to take what is yours. And now it's time for you to stand strong. The situation could have just arrived. It could be an argument that's lingered for years. Respect what's said. But know that you need to respect your own stance too. Don't shoulder in others' problems if they're not taking the same responsibility. It's important to be kind and patient with your words. You have nothing to explain, nothing to defend. This is your life. By following the song within your heart, you will be guided. Any frustrations and conflicts arriving in your path are to teach you patience and make sure that you are truly listening and not becoming misguided. Because bluebird is the color blue, it is often associated with the throat chakra and creative expression. Pick up a musical instrument, a pen, a paintbrush. If you feel that you can't vocalize your song in your life, maybe another creative way will help lift that song up so that you can finally sing your song. So, back to the gratitude journal. Self-expression. What you love in your life, of what you have to work with in your life, of your own talents and abilities, of the people that do surround you, love you, raise you up, the things you want to try. Do you have a bucket list? Do ya? Why not? Okay, our journey of love card is very thin cut. My goodness. Drop into your heart. 68. Drop into your heart. Okay, we'll do the very short poem first. This isn't very long, actually, this one. Okay. Longing, the dance to move beyond the feeling that draws me forward to a place born within that calls my soul to feel complete. Okay, drop into your heart. There is a place of light within that no darkness can touch. It cannot be shamed. It can never be made impure. It's never lost or darkened or unavailable to us, though we may forget it sometimes, sitting in a darkened room and not realizing that we can stand up and walk into the light so close to us, just on the other side of the doorway, to the heart. Whatever may arise, great joy, great sorrow, drop into your heart and offer it to the divine, gently bowing your forehead to your hands in prayer. Connect mind to heart. Connect mind to heart. Let yourself have peace. It wants you, you know. This oracle brings you an offering. The divine would like you to offer whatever is bringing your heart trouble, or of course joy. The divine would like to receive this from you as a gift, that it may return to you some special blessing. Place your hands at your heart, and in genuine reflection, perhaps, you may choose to offer your heart burden or light now. Either will be joyfully received by the divine, and you shall be graced with a gift in return. So, join your heart and your mind and ask God, your angels, your spirit guides, to assist you, to move you forward. And maybe it's by letting go of a grief or a sorrow. Until we meet again, remember, I do love you.